YouTube, it's Noreen, Atticus9799, here with an episode of a new series that I'm going to start. And I'm going to call it The Prepper's Pantry. Now, maybe you're like me. About 2 years ago, I started to put some food back in preparation for perhaps an emergency, a disaster, economic collapse, whatever you call it. I'm working my way toward a 1-year supply goal for my family and my extended family, and perhaps some neighbors if I have the opportunity that I may need to share with people who did not prepare like I have. My family takes this very seriously. I am the black sheep in my family, and the rest of my family kind of balks at me, but that's okay, because I have peace of mind. But I got to thinking, you know, we're putting canned goods back. You know, we're putting back things that are going to last a long time. Wheat and dried beans and rice and lots of things that have a long extended shelf life as far as your long-term food storage goes. Perhaps you're putting back freeze-dried foods and shelf-stable foods. Well, in the event of an emergency, when some people are not going to be able to maintain a calm about them, we don't know what we're going to do. But I got to thinking about, okay, so we have all this food storage. What are we going to do with it? Yeah, it's great. We've got lots of rice and lots of beans, but you know what? We're not always going to be happy with that, and that's going to maybe be a drastic change for some people in the event that something should happen. So I decided to go ahead and start this little series. There are several things that I do on a regular basis that come directly out of the pantry. I mean, you can use them and substitute other ingredients, but I'm going to concentrate today on this dish, which is a scalloped or au-gratin potato casserole with ham. And we are going to serve some broccoli on the side. But let's get started and I'll show you. Everything for this recipe comes right out of the pantry with the exception of the broccoli, which is frozen. So come on over here. For this recipe, this makes a 9x13 casserole, and I am using 1 box of au-gratin potato mix. And this is a twin pack, and I am using both of them. I'm going to use some canned ham. These little canned hams are really wonderful to have in your food storage. You can do any number of things with them, and they're delicious, and they're very inexpensive. About $2.50 for this canned ham, and it's 1 pound. Today we're going to use 3.5 cups of water, 1 cup of milk, a 1/4 cup of butter that I have cubed, and I'm going to add some extra cheese. Granted, in the event of an emergency, you may not have access to cheese, but there is shelf-stable cheese you can buy. And in the event of an emergency, you can substitute this fresh milk and fresh butter for powdered milk and powdered butter and just increase your water. But we're not going there today. Today we're going to help. I'm in a hurry and I don't have anything thought out, but I have this stuff in my pantry. So what I've done is I've taken my very favorite best friend in the kitchen, my foil pan. I've emptied both of those packages of dried potatoes. All this is dehydrated potatoes. You can buy these online in number 10 cans. They are very, very inexpensive. The same goes for this cheddar cheese powder. You can buy this in a number 10 can as well. I use both packets. What we're going to do is we're going to take this butter, we're going to sprinkle it over. And it doesn't matter. This is all going to incorporate all by itself. This is hot water. It's not boiling hot water. It's hot-ish water. And I want all my butter. That was 2 there that didn't want to jump in the pool. I'm going to pour in my milk. And grab a little spatula here. I'll just give this a zhuzh. Make sure all that powder kind of gets incorporated into that liquid. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go away for a minute. I'm going to dice up some ham and I'm going to pop it in here and I'll be right back. Okay, I've diced up my ham. And now I know this is a chopped ham, but it's a canned ham and it's lower in sodium than Spam. It's lower in fat than Spam. And I don't think, I mean, in a pinch you could put Spam in here, but I think Spam would be much too salty and much too greasy. But this is going to easily make a casserole that is going to feed 6 people very heartily. There's a lot of protein in here. And let's remember, food storage is not just for people who are afraid that the end of the world is coming. Food storage is for smart people everywhere. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if you break your leg and you can't work for 3 months?
After disasters.
What happens if a hurricane comes? In my area, we have hurricanes. In some parts of the country, there are tornadoes. In Tennessee, there was a giant flood. You just never know what might happen tomorrow. And the time to prepare is now, because once you have an emergency, the time to prepare is gone. You can't do it anymore. So, here we go. This is our casserole. I'm going to put this in a 325-degree oven, and I'm going to let it cook until it's bubbly and the sauces have thickened and the top is a little bit brown. When it comes out of the oven, I'm going to sprinkle it with some white cheddar cheese, and I'm going to let that melt on there, and then we're going to eat with a nice side of steamed broccoli. So let's put this in the oven. Let me get a baking sheet to put this on, just so I can support the bottom. Alright, I'm just going to put this in the oven. I'm going to let that bake probably for 45 minutes. And when that's ready to come out and sprinkle with some cheese, I'll be back. Okay, it has been about 45 minutes. And let's take this out of the oven. I did turn the oven off a few minutes ago, so it did stop bubbling. Only other thing we're going to do now is I grated up some of that white cheddar cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on the top. Now you can do one of two things. This has to sit so it'll thicken up just a little bit. You can just leave it on top of the stove, and the residual heat from the casserole is going to melt this cheese. Or you can pop it right back in that warm oven, and it will continue to thicken up, and this cheese is going to melt. So I'd say, I don't know, I don't want too much on there. And there's probably about a cup on there. So we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes, and then when we come back, this is going to be all melty. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and make some broccoli, and we're going to come back, and you know what we're going to do then. We're going to fix you a plate. So I'll be right back. Here we go. Who's hungry? I hope you are. Let's fix you a plate. You can see that our cheese melted. We sat just while I stuck the broccoli in the microwave to steam. Like I said, I did buy fresh frozen broccoli, and we're just going to have that on the side. So let's get you a serving. Like I said, this will make, I believe, 6 nice healthy servings. So we're going to eat this for dinner, and then we're going to have it leftovers twice. 2 of us will have this tomorrow for lunch, or the kids will eat some for breakfast, or something like that, you know. That's a nice, generous portion. At least I think it is. I don't think that looks skimpy at all. And this really, I probably could have made more broccoli, because my family really enjoys broccoli. So we'll just, there you have it, folks. My husband says I should put a sprinkle of cheese on the broccoli. So here we go. Okay, there you have it. Au-Gratin potato and ham bake made from your pantry provisions, what you've put away. I hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. And I hope if you don't have a food storage that you give some thought to starting one. Add a couple of cans to your weekly groceries and set them back. But always, always remember, store what you eat and eat what you store, and rotate your food storage. Until next time, see ya!